Hamppe vs. Meitner played in Vienna in 1872. Coincidentally, the game uses the Vienna game as the opening. This is one of my favorite games. It's very exciting in that black first sacrifices a piece to expose the white king to attack, and then continues to sacrifice more and more material to keep the attack alive while hounding the white king across the board. Though less aggressive than knight f3, this is a solid developing move that defends the e-pawn. White's third move, knight a4, is a strange move, given that it places the knight on the edge of the board. It would have been better to follow the main line and develop another piece with knight f3, and the awkwardness of the knight on a4 will be fully exploited by black later on in his attack. Black now sacrifices his bishop to open the king to attack. With pawn d5, black is now threatening queen takes e4. So take a good look at this position and pause the video and see if you can find white's best move in this position. If you found king c3, then you were right. It's better to run and to live and to fight another day, and then to die while making a last stand. Stubbornly trying to defend the e-pawn here, with a move like knight c3. And black would take d takes e4, knight takes e4. This would only be followed by bishop f5, for instance. Which would lead to an easy victory for black. So therefore running and seeking safety and asylum on the queen side is actually the wiser move. So black captures the second pawn for a sacrifice piece and threatens the knight on a4. Black now threatens queen b4, checkmating white. White plays a3, covering the b4 square, and hoping to retreat his king to a2, and thus into safety. Now, see if you can find black's best move here, and pause the video. If you found queen takes a4, then you were right. This is a risky sacrifice, true, but it is perhaps required to keep his attack alive. Any alternatives would not have been as good. For example, if he tried to play pawn d4 to open up another diagonal for his light squared bishop, the white king could easily retreat to a2. Black puts the white king in check again, as he cannot allow him any time to breathe, lest white bring his large material advantage into play. King b5 here is stronger, as playing king b4 allows black to play a5, putting him in check once again. Black offers another piece, this time his knight on c5, to keep his attack alive. Knight e7 defends the d-pawn, and threatens Mate in two moves as either b6, king b5 and bishop d7 checkmate, or bishop d7 followed by b6 checkmate. Now threatened with two possibilities of mate in two, White must counterattack aggressively to stay alive. Black once more threatens b6 checkmate. See now if you can find the only move that can prevent a mate. And if you found bishop c6, then you were right. Using interference, White blocks out Black's ability to attack White's king along the a4 diagonal with his bishop. The only legal move, of course. And Black now threatens knight d4 check, king a4 and bishop d7 checkmate, as well simply, of course, bishop d7 followed by knight d4 checkmate. Now, pause the video and see if you can find what White should play. Should he take the knight with king takes c6, or should he head home and retreat with king a4? If you decide to boldly capture the knight, well, you are right. This is an instance of eat or die. If king a4 after knight d4, mate cannot be prevented. And yet, Black offers to feed the White king even more. So, what do you do in this case? Do you capture the bishop, or do you retreat with king b5? Retreating is the only move that prevents a quick checkmate. Had he taken the bishop after king d7, White would be checkmated with rook on the h file to b8. Black, of course, cannot give White any time to breathe, or else his overwhelming material advantage would come into play. And once more, White cannot escape with king a4 due to bishop c4 and b5 checkmate that follows. Now here, after the Black's 18th move, the players agreed to a draw, as the position is soon to repeat itself 3 times. If either side deviates from repeating moves, well, quite simply a loss is guaranteed.